Welcome everyone. In this video, we will be diving into my top 5 best teams for the Hisui Cup. Hisui Cup is set to drop later on today at the normal time that leagues reset, and only Pokemon within the Pokemon Legends Arceus Pokedex are allowed. So a little bit different from last time. Last time it was just Pokemon from the Hisui region, along with all of the Sinnoh Pokemon. But there are some newer faces that will be showing up in this meta, and we are going to dive into it. So we will have this for 2 rotations, starting today and into next rotation along with the Ultra League. So I thought I'd give you some really strong teams, and without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright guys, here we go. Kicking things off, we have team number 1 here. A very powerful team for this Hisuian Cup meta, and yeah, this one's looking really fun. I'm actually very excited to give it a shot. It leads with Gligar on the lead, Lickitung on the safe swap, and Umbreon in the back. All 3 of these Pokemon have tremendous play in the entire Hisui Cup meta, and a very strong team overall, and we will get into that. Let's see the scorecard here. And holy smokes, oh my goodness, straight A's across the board for Team 1. I was not kidding, guys. We get an A for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and an A for consistency. You literally don't get much better than that, quite literally. And let's look at these matchups here. So Gligar on the lead, gonna be generally safe overall. There are some ice types in this meta that we will have to keep an eye out for, most notably Abomasnow. Walrein is looking pretty good in the meta, of course, as well, and Frostlass is always very strong in these specialty cups. So ice types, of course, we're out of there into Lickitung. Lickitung, once again, the safest safe swap in any given meta. You absolutely love to see it. That's not going to change for the Hisui Cup here. So Lickitung is the safe swap. We're out of there on the hard lead losses such as ice types. Basti we're staying in on, of course. Umbreon takes a little bit of tactical maneuvering. Not gonna beat around the bush here. The safest play with an Umbreon lead is to dig into your own Umbreon. You can let them hit you with a foul play just so that you don't come in at such a severe energy disadvantage, but that's how I would play that. You can go into your own Licky as well. It's resisting the fast move pressure, but that dig damage will be quite nice. So either way works. Lickitung is the safer of the 2 to be safe swapping, so you can go that route as well. Either one works, and look to play on from there with an Umbreon lead. Whiscash lead, another tricky one. You can go right into Lickitung on that and look to play on. With a little bit of chip damage, Umbreon can handle it no problem. And I think that's about it. It's pretty straightforward with this team here. We're just hard swapping on the ice types, of course. Mantine, you don't really need to mess around with either, although you can do okay into it. It's not a fun matchup for Gligar, so you just go right into Lickitung. That's the safest play on a potential Mantine lead. But yeah, everything else in between straightforward with Team 1. Holy smokes, I cannot get over that scorecard. My goodness, straight A's. You will love to see it on PvPoke in the team builder. So that's Team 1. Gligar on the lead, Lickitung on the safe swap, and Umbreon in the back. And with all that said, let's have a look at team number 2. All right, guys, moving along into team number 2 here. Another very powerful team here for the Hisui Cup. It leads with Whiscash on the lead, Lickitung making a return for team 2 on the safe swap, and good old Basti in the back. So we really want to just protect Whiscash from Mantine as well as Abomasnow. I have a very strong feeling both of those Pokemon will be quite prominent and the hardest checks to Whiscash in this meta. So we have the Basti in the back for those, and Lickitung, of course, the flexible safe swap option. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. And not bad. Very strong scorecard here for Team 2. We get an A for coverage, A for bulk, C for safety, and an A for consistency. C for safety is, I think you guys all know by now, the metric that I give the least amount. I weigh that the least when evaluating a team. Very subjective. So getting all A's in all other categories is A-okay with me. That's a very strong scorecard. And these matchups here, Moving into these, we've got some good matchups here. Looking good. Whiscash going to be a very strong lead. Very strong lead. I did want to go over the Whiscash mirror. I think it's worth staying in a little bit to get off a Scald, and it'll give you an opportunity to see who wins CMP tie, and then get into your own Licky and look to play on from there. Mantine, that's a hard swap out into Licky Tongue. An opposing Licky Tongue lead, of course, you'll want to chip and dip, hit that Scald, and then get into your own Licky and look to play on from there. It's a pretty straightforward team comp, guys. We're just out of there on the hard lead losses. Anything that has grass coverage or anything such as Mantine, we're out of there. Everything else, we can dance around a little bit, mess around with those Scald debuffs on the lead, and then we're out of there if it's questionable. But the hard, the wins, we're staying in, of course, obviously. Very straightforward team. That's the beauty and the simplicity behind Team 2. It's a very strong team here. Whiscash, very strong overall in the meta, especially as a lead. So that's Team 2. Whiscash lead, Licky safe swap, Basti in the back to protect it and cover the Mantine and Abomasnow. So with all that said, that is Team 2. Another very fun one that I'm looking forward to trying. And yeah, with all that said, let's have a look at Team 3. All right, guys, making our way into team number 3 here. Another very powerful team here for the Hisui Cup. It leads with Cresselia on the lead, Shadow Machamp on the safe swap, and Basti making a return for Team 3 in the back. So, Shadow Machamp eligible. It is within the Pokemon Legends Arceus Pokédex, so it's eligible, and it is going to be quite lethal in this cup, especially as a safe swap, because it's high octane and has the ability to flip switch. It wins a lot in this meta. You would be surprised, but we will get into that. And Cresselia is just a very strong lead overall. You just want to protect Cresselia mostly from Basti and Abomasnow, but we'll get into that. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. And identical scorecard to Team 2. Again, we get all A's with the exception of the safety category. Again, the metric that I give the least amount of weight to when evaluating a team on PvPoke. So we get straight A's. A for coverage, A for bulk, and an A in the consistency department. And we do get that C for safety. No big deal there. So Cresselia on the lead is going to be doing pretty good overall. It's going to be beating a lot of the things that we will be seeing the most notably Whiscash. We're going to be dominating those Whiscash leads, which is why I put Cresselia on the lead here for Team 2. We also get a nice victory over Mantine, which is ranked number 1 overall. We'll see if that sticks, but Cresselia does quite well up against it, and it is recommending that we run Legacy Grass Knot. Always want Legacy Grass Knot on Cresselia. It is absolutely worth the Elite TM. No need to thrift there, guys. Definitely fork over that Elite Charge TM if you have it for Cresselia. But generally we run Future Sight in the Open Great League, but I think you want Moonblast because Umbreon is going to be quite prominent in the meta, and without Moonblast, you are not beating Umbreon. It's still pretty close against Licky Tongue, but we've got the coverage for it. You don't generally win that with Moonblast. So we've got the coverage. We've got 2 Pokemon that can beat a Licky Tongue lead, and that is precisely what you're going to do. Immediately pivot into Shadow Machamp. Getting that energy lead is going to prove to be quite beneficial on Shadow Machamp, and you could possibly flip switch depending on what they counter swap you with. Umbreon lead, again, we've got 2 checks to Umbreon in the back, so we've got a strong team here behind the Cresselia lead. Just like with Licky, you're instantly pivoting into Shadow Machamp on an Umbreon lead. Basti, a little bit different. You'll want to soften it up a little bit. Cresselia with the extreme bulk can withstand the damage long enough to chip away at the Basti, and that's just to give your own Basti a health advantage if it were to come down to that. There's no way they're staying in on a Machamp safe swap, so getting a couple of Grass Knots in, I think, could prove to be quite beneficial for you. Gligar, we win. Steelix, if we do see them, I don't know how prominent it will be. I am a thorough Steelix enjoyer, despite the nerf. I've been using it quite a bit in the Open Great League as of late. If you're a member of my Discord, you will know. You will be well aware. But I digress. That's not the best. It's good if they're running Psychic Fangs, which generally if you run Steelix this season, that's what I would recommend doing. But it is recommended that it run Breaking Swipe. And if it is running Breaking Swipe, it will win against Cresselia. But if it's Psychic Fangs, that's a whole nother story. So it might pay to stick around a little bit and see what they're running. If they're running Psychic Fangs, you can hang in there a little bit. Get it down to about 50% health. That's basically flamethrower range on a Steelix in the Great League format. Everything else in between straightforward, guys. If you have any lingering questions, again, you can hop into my Discord. Link in the description. It is absolutely free to join, and you can ask me anything that I might have missed. And yeah, hang around in the Discord. We have a lot of fun there. Link in the description. But for now, that is team number 3 here. Cresselia on the lead, Shadow Machamp Safe Swap, and Basti in the back. So with all that said, that's team 3. Let's have a look at team number 4. All right, my friends, here we go. Team number 4. A classic ABB line here for team 4. It leads with Gligar on the lead, Celio on the Safe Swap, and Abomasnow in the back. So I started out with Walrein, where Celio is. You can run Walrein in the place of Celio. Make no mistake about that. It's just, if you happen to encounter an opposing Walrein, Celio has the ability to take out an opposing Walrein if they so choose to stay in. So that's why Celio is here. But you can run Walrein in the place of Celio, of course. But for this particular team, Celio scores a little bit better. And we've got Abomasnow in the back. So let's have a look at the scorecard here. And not bad. Very strong scorecard for team 4 here. We get a B for coverage, B for bulk, A for safety, and an A for consistency. Very strong and solid overall. Diving into the matchups here, again, Gligar going to be pretty good in this meta. You don't want to mess around too much, of course, with ice types, but you don't want to mess around too much with Mantine either. You do have a little bit of neutral play into it with the fast move pressure and, of course, the spammy aerial aces, but you don't want to be going down on shields with ice beams. And speaking of ice beam, that's the play you'll want to make if you can catch the ice beam onto Celio and look to play on from there. That is the ideal play because you will be able to get off an aerial ace and hopefully set up that ice beam catch. That would be phenomenal. But if you can't, if you fail the catch, you'll still want to make your way into Celio at some point. Licky Tongue, you're going to have to chip and dip a little bit, land a dig, maybe even an aerial ace to make that a little bit more comfortable for Celio. You can tank a body slam in the process, no problem. Whiscash, you've got 2 checks to that in the back. You don't need to mess around too much on the lead. Umbreon, same play with Licky. Land a dig, maybe even an aerial ace, and then make your way into Celio and look to play on from there. Basti, of course, you're staying in. Cresselia is a little tricky, quite tricky, I will say. You can tank a Moonblast pretty comfortably as Gligar, and you will have gotten off a dig by then and make your way into Abomasnow. That's the safer play. Force that swap and look to get some play from there. Everything else I think in between is pretty straightforward. We're not staying in on ice types whatsoever. And yeah, I think I hit the key points here for team 4. Love that scorecard. Love the team comp in general. It leads with Gligar, Celio safe swap. You can use Walrein if you don't want to build a Celio or if you don't have one, and Abomasnow in the back. So with all that said, that is team 4. Let's have a look at team number 5. All right, my friends, last but certainly not least, we've got team number 5 here. Very strong team here for the Hisui Cup. It leads with Umbreon on the lead, and we've got Mantine and Whiscash in the back. So quickly here, the dynamics of this team. This is sort of a RPS backline team here. So what we're doing with this team is we're not swapping out no matter what. We're not swapping out. We're staying in with Umbreon where they're winning lead or soft losing lead, and then we're looking to realign. So I wanted to include a RPS backline for you guys just in case Things are getting a little hairy, a little sticky in the Hisui Cup. Allows you to control that alignment a little bit better. So let's have a look at the scorecard here for Team 5. Not bad at all, really. We've got A for coverage, A for bulk. We do get that C for safety, and you guys, by now, if you've been watching this video, you know how I feel about this safety metric, and we get a B for consistency. So C for safety notwithstanding, very strong overall. Let's look at these matchups. So again, very simple. Very simple. RPS backline. We either win lead or soft lose lead, and we're looking to realign here with these two Pokemon in the back. So with that said, it's nothing really to hammer home too much. I mean, a fighter, if you find yourself faced with a fighter like Machamp, maybe the cheeky Lucario that is eligible as well, that's the only time that you'll really want to hard swap. Umbreon's just going to get thrashed on the lead by any counter user, especially if it's a Shadow Machamp, holy smokes. So if you are met with that, that's the only time I could co-sign on swapping out, and in that case it's going to be Mantine to force that swap to get some play on the back end. But everything else, again, you're staying in. You're either soft losing lead or winning lead and looking to realign from there. You don't really, Umbreon's so bulky, just no need to even shield. Just win lead or soft lose lead, look to realign with either of the Pokemon in the back. Very simple yet effective strategy for Team 5 here. And that about wraps it up, guys. That's Team 5. Hisui Cup should be interesting. It's a little different from the last time we had it. Like I said last time, it was not the entire Pokemon Legends Arceus Pokédex. It was just Pokemon originally discovered in the Hisui region, along with the Sinnoh, Gen 4 Sinnoh Pokédex. But it is a little bit different, so there are some new faces. So fresh teams here for this iteration of the Hisui Cup. It will be alongside the Open Great League this rotation, and then it will be around for a second rotation alongside the Ultra League. So a lot of play with the two Open Leagues that will be running alongside. So with all that said, guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.